What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video, man. Hope you're having a great day. So yeah, man, pretty much today what I wanted to show you, I did promise you that I would run you through how I like to mix my beats and kind of my procedure to really fill up your mix. If you don't have that beat ready, filling up all the empty space in your song will always kind of sound a bit lacking. So that's really what I wanted to show you. Definitely make sure to subscribe, like, all that stuff, man, and let's get straight into it. So the first thing that we have, man, is I'll play the track that we have and I'll kind of run you through a bit of EQ and a few kind of mixing tricks that will definitely benefit you. You can use any plugins you'd like. The methods will always stay the same, so let's get into it.
Yeah, my heart's so cold, it's just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show. Rockstar life, pull up, let it glow. It's too late right now, I gotta go. Kinda bands, I'm the man. Rockstar, yeah, I think I'm Marilyn Manson. Kinda bands, I'm the man.
Alrighty, so there you should get an idea of kind of what we have to work with. So if I was to disable all of the stuff, now I'm going to leave this on because I'm doing level adjustment. I will talk to you about the level adjustment just now. It is basically just level adjustment. But if I was to disable that, you can kind of hear how much space is kind of lost within the mix.
Yeah, my heart's so cold, it's just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show. Rockstar life, pull up, let it glow.
So it's cool, but it doesn't have that extra 10-20% that's really going to fill up the mix. So let me just turn that back on.
Yeah, my heart's so cold, it's just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show.
You know what I mean? It just adds a bit of treble, kind of shininess to the track and that kind of thing. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing I do when I'm recording is as soon as I import the beat into my session, I will always pull up a plugin, generally some sort of mixing style plugin that has a compressor on it, that has an EQ on it, and some level adjustment, which is what we call a channel strip, console strip. And the first thing I'll do is turn it down, similarly to how if you had a mixing console, you would turn down the line input level, right, or turn it up depending on how loud you want the signal to be. That's the first thing I always worry about. And then I will generally turn it down, I would say between like -12 to -6 dB. Really depends on how much kind of pressure and RMS the beat has. So that's the first thing I'll do. Second thing I've kind of gotten into a habit of doing is adding a very light high pass filter to the beat, especially hip hop beats. You're generally going to find the 808 will sound a bit cleaner when you add a little bit of a high pass filter. A high pass filter is like this. But as you can see, we added a 20 hertz and it's really minimal. As you can see, the FL1 actually goes down to 10 hertz, which is pretty cool. But yeah, 22 hertz, 20 hertz is what I'm generally rolling off. Just gives us a bit more clarity in the mix. So that's a cool little trick. Next thing I do is sometimes I will compress a very little bit, but not much. Just a little bit, you know what I mean? Not much. As you can see, we're not actually hitting the compression LEDs right there. So it could be compressing 1 dB, but just a little bit. So sometimes I will do a bit of EQ. As you can see, I EQ just a little bit right here just to poke the 1K region out, which is generally where, the guitars or the instruments of the track are going to be. So, just a 2 dB boost at 1K, perfect. Okay, that kind of sets us up for getting our mixing done. So if you watched my other video the other day on some analog obsession, some, kind of free VSTs to use in 2020, you would have seen me using this Trident style EQ. And what it is basically, it's just a EQ again, but I really wanted to use this as our flavor kind of, plugin for the track. So, because I really like how musical this kind of EQ is on guitars. This is kind of like the, rock star, rock, EQ to go to, your go-to EQ for mixing guitars and that kind of thing. So what I did was I just EQ'd a little bit right there, 3000 hertz, I guess, as a treble boost. Oh, no, my bad. So it starts right here with the treble boost, and I'm guessing this is 12,000 hertz boost, so something like that, right? Just a 12,000 hertz. And then what I did, and go and download this VST for free, by the way. And then after that, I did a 3K, 2K boost, wherever that is, again, just to really add some flavor to our track. Just a little bit, like 1-2 dB. And then a 100 hertz boost, which is going to give us a nice little low kind of bass boost right there, just around there to warm up our track. Okay, after that, again, I did a 120 boost, so we kind of end up with something like this, so we end up with something nice and warm. So if I was to disable that,
yeah, my heart's so cold, it's just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show. Rockstar life, pull up, let it glow. It's too late, right? grind.
Very minimal, very subtle, but it is adding that extra bit of sauce. So after that, what I did was I decided, man, if only this beat was ran through some analog gear, some outboard gear and that kind of thing, it would sound a bit more full. So what you can do is you can pull up any sort of excitation plugin, a saturation plugin. If you've got waves, you can use whatever you have. But really, we're adding a little bit of harmonic saturation, which is, you know, kind of like distortion. Very nice, pleasing distortion to our track. And what I decided to do was just add this triode, which I'm guessing is a tube style of saturation, and we just add that in 2%, 2.2%, and that gives our track a little bit of warmth. I won't really bypass it because you can't really hear too much, but
yeah, my heart's so cold, it's just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show. Rockstar life, pull up, let it glow.
to me, what it does is it really helps kind of just smoothen out the top end. It helps smoothen out the treble and that kind of thing. So really beautiful. You can add, you know, tape style saturation, try all these different things on your beats. It'll really make an MP3 beat sound more wave file per se. So yeah, man. After that, I did a nice bit of EQ right here, and this is really where we get into the nitty gritty. You know, we really want our beat to go from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional. So really what I'm going to be focusing on with the parametric EQ is generally really just correcting all the stuff I don't like. So generally as I'm mixing, I will start to pull up this EQ and just really work on stuff. So if I work top downwards, so from the treble, I do a nice actually 11k boost right there at 22 hertz, 22,000 hertz, and that just gives us a bit of air to our track. I do a bit of a dip right here to make space for the vocal to cut through. And as you can see right here, I've got this blue EQ curve is actually the side channel, which is all the stereo information excluding the mono information. And basically if I solo that, you can kind of feel what's going on.
Yeah, my heart's
So let me just get rid of the vocals for this. I think we got that as well. Let me just get rid of that. And really all that's doing is it's taking the hi-hat that was panned left and kind of monoing it in more. I didn't really want the hi-hat to be too wide. I wanted the guitars to kind of consume that space. So it's really just cutting away any stereo information from the hi-hat. And then again, I do a bit of a stereo boost over here to really pop those guitars out again. As you can see, there's a trend going on, right? I really want to focus on popping these guitars out so they kind of sound good on a cell phone or whatever. So if I solo that, so you can hear the kind of clarity of the guitars kind of is kind of lost when you exclude those things. So if I bring them back in, and I'll talk about that last one right there, and this one is just going to add a bit of body to our guitar. Really beautiful trick that you can use. So you can kind of hear that body of the guitar. And there you go, that's pretty cool, right? And then, you know, just a few subtle dips and cuts here and there just to really open up our track. Definitely, again, I felt maybe a bit too boomy, slide it all out. And generally, you know, you wouldn't be EQing on EQing generally. But, you know, if I had the stems, I wouldn't be doing that. But, you know, when we mixing, we just kind of do what we can to really get the best sound possible at the end of the day. So, again, you know, a last bit of EQ, you know, just to really open up the track. A bit of full text style EQ really warms up the track, you know, just a few kind of cool things. Definitely download the Analog Obsession Rare and mess around with this EQ. It's always going to be different, so, you know. But yeah, so I really want to talk about some cool tricks that I can make use of. And as you can see on certain parts of the track, I felt that things got maybe a bit too wide, or there were kind of some mistakes that could have been addressed if I had the stems, right? So as you can see right here, if I disable this side cut, you can see I have it enabled over here. There's this transition that comes into the track that I really wanted to get a bit more kind of mono sounding. So as you can hear, that's just too wide. So what I did was I enabled this EQ just to only come in on the parts of the transition of the track. As you can see, it only pops in on each transition of the song, and all it does is just kind of tames that sound going on. And again, right, so what I did was, this is a tape stop effect, I guess, somewhere in the track. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna look for that. But this is a cool trick that I did to really help kind of you know, keep a sense of depth within the track. I felt that maybe on some parts of the song the guitars became too wide. I think there were 2 guitars that would stack up, so I decided to actually bring this S1 imager in that actually brings down the stereo width on certain sections of the track. So as you can see, this first part of the beat has none of this going on. Because I really like that guitar loop, dun dun dun, it sounds cool. But then when we move over to this side, we've got the kind of strumming guitar that comes in. So if I was to turn that off, it's just a bit too wide for my taste. So this just helps keep the track kind of fitted together, and it also really helps us keep our background vocals in check, because as you can see, we've got a lot of backgrounds going on, and we allow those to be the widest element in the mix, and then the guitars are kind of 60% in the middle of that. So
yeah, I think I'm at a man, son.
So there you go, that's pretty cool, right? Little kind of technical trick that you could make use of. That's really dependent on the song. That's a very unique problem that would occur, but that's generally how you should be thinking when you are mixing your songs. So yeah, man, one cool other trick I did, and I promise I would show this, is as you can see, I have this parallel beat thing going on, and really what it is it's just the side channel of the track. So what I do is I duplicate that by creating an aux send to a new track, right, which is this one. So you could obviously do that like that, for example, but it goes to this track. And what I do is, the main thing I do is actually get rid of anything that is mono on the track. So if I was to actually disable the actual beat, you could only hear this.
It's too late right now.
And as you can see, when I put it into mono on my monitor switcher, it actually just vanishes. So it's literally just the side channel, meaning it's just stereo information. If you were listening on a mono speaker, you would not hear anything coming out of this. But really, this is just a cool little source effect, which I've been doing for a few years. Sometimes I'll add it to the bass, sometimes I'll add it to the guitars, whatever I feel could benefit from a bit more kind of side channel warmth per se, not really wideness, but more so presence. So what I do is I firstly pull up a mid-side EQ. I've got a preset somewhere along the line. I have created this preset and actually given it away. It's really just a mid-side splitter. You could use a isotope mid-side EQ, doesn't really matter. But this is the mid section, this is the stereo section, okay? And what I do with the stereo section is I boost the heck out of the guitar again, but maybe a bit lower this time, so around 800, 900 to really give it the body, you know what I mean? And then I actually saturate it beforehand. So I've got a bit of warm, whatever warm is, it's just some saturation. Isotope, you could use the Fruity Blood Overdrive, whatever you like, for more kind of hardcore sounds. And then I just use this air exciter, which is then boosting the heck out of the of anything above 1.5. So it's kind of doing an EQ like this, it's doing something like that. And then in the end, we kind of get this really cool sound. I do mute it somewhere. I don't know where I mute it, but somewhere along the line it mutes itself. But yeah, in the end, you walk away with something like this. So especially on this part, as you can hear, it really creates this kind of 3D thing going on with the guitars. Now obviously, as you can see, I've had to do many things to make sure that it doesn't go out of whack. That's kind of why I have this side cut and then the S1, just to make sure that when it hits that thing, it's not making the track too wide, so it's easy to kind of paint yourself in a corner when you do all these extra things. So keep that in mind. You could also do this just to enhance the drums of your track. You could for example copy paste just the loop of the track, and then mess around with that. and then put that in the track and do all sorts of cool stuff. But really, your options open up when you start thinking about things in that way. Then you can really fill out your songs and make them sound good. So yeah, that's pretty much all I could do with this. There's not really much else I did on the beat. It just sounds good.
Yeah, my heart's so cold, it just like snow. 20 bands just to pull up to the show. Rockstar life, pull up, let it glow.
It really gives us that kind of finished and polished sound. So yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something, man. Hopefully you are keeping motivated if you're at home, man, locked down and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, hopefully you had a good time, and I will check you out next time. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section and I'll try and comment there, man. So I'll check you out next time. Peace out.